Thinking, Fast and Slow, by Kahneman, explores the dual systems of thinking that govern human decision-making and behavior. Kahneman, a psychologist and Nobel laureate, divides thinking into two modes: System 1, which is fast, intuitive, and emotional, and System 2, which is slower, more deliberative, and logical. This summary will cover the main concepts and insights from the book, highlighting how these systems influence our judgments and decisions. Part 1. The two systems. System 1. Fast thinking. System 1 operates automatically and quickly. With little or no effort and no sense of voluntary control, it is responsible for our instinctive reactions and immediate impressions. System 1 is highly efficient and excels at recognizing patterns and making quick judgments based on experience. Characteristics of System 1. Automatic functions without conscious thought. Intuitive relies on gut feelings and instincts. Emotional influenced by feelings and moods. Examples of System 1 in action. Recognizing a friend's face in a crowd. Completing the phrase bread and with butter. Quickly judging whether someone is trustworthy based on their appearance. System 1 limitations. Despite its efficiency, System 1 is prone to biases and errors. It can lead to overconfidence and snap judgments that are not always accurate. System 2. Slow thinking. System 2 allocates attention to the effortful mental activities that demand it, including complex computations and logical reasoning. It is more analytical and can override the impulses of System 1. Characteristics of System 2. Deliberate, requires conscious effort and focus. Logical, engages in critical thinking and problem solving. Lazy, often defaults to System 1, unless active engagement is required. Examples of System 2 in action. Solving a math problem like 1724. Planning a complex project. Evaluating the pros and cons of a major life decision. Interplay between systems. Kahneman highlights how the two systems interact. While System 1 provides quick judgments, System 2 is often needed to correct errors and biases. However, System 2 is often lazy and can be easily influenced by the outputs of System 1, which can lead to flawed decision-making. Part 2. Heuristics and biases. Kahneman delves into various heuristics, mental shortcuts that System 1 uses to simplify decisions. While heuristics can be helpful, they also lead to systematic biases. 1. Anchoring effect. The anchoring effect occurs when individuals rely too heavily on the first piece of information, encountered the anchor when making decisions. For example, if a person sees a shirt priced at $100 and then sees another at $50, they might perceive the second shirt as a good deal based on the anchor. 2. Availability heuristic. This heuristic leads people to assess the likelihood of an event based on how easily examples come to mind. For instance, after seeing news reports about airplane crashes, a person might overestimate the risks of flying because those incidents are vivid and readily available in memory. 3. Representativeness heuristic. The representativeness heuristic causes people to judge the probability of an event based on how similar it is to a prototype. This can lead to misjudgments, such as assuming a quiet person is more likely to be a librarian than a farmer, despite there being many more farmers than librarians. 4. Overconfidence bias. Kahneman discusses how individuals often overestimate their knowledge and abilities. This overconfidence can lead to poor decision-making and risky behavior, as people may ignore or downplay evidence that contradicts their beliefs. Part 3. The illusion of understanding. Kahneman emphasizes that humans have a tendency to create narratives that make sense of events, often leading to hindsight bias. This bias occurs when people view past events as having been more predictable than they actually were. Hindsight bias. After an event occurs, individuals often believe they knew it all along. This illusion of understanding can distort learning from experiences and hinder critical thinking about future events. The narrative fallacy. Kahneman highlights the danger of simplifying complex events into coherent stories. While narratives can help make sense of reality, they can also lead to misleading conclusions and overgeneralizations. Part 4. Choices and risk. Kahneman explores how people make choices under uncertainty, introducing the concept of prospect theory. This theory describes how people value potential gains and losses, revealing that losses typically have a more significant emotional impact than gains of the same size. Loss aversion. Loss aversion refers to the tendency for individuals to prefer avoiding losses over acquiring equivalent gains. For example, the pain of losing $100 feels more intense than the pleasure of gaining $100. Framing effect. The way information is presented, framed, significantly influences decision. For instance, people may choose differently when a situation is framed in terms of potential losses versus potential gains, even if the underlying information is identical. Part 5. To selves. Kahneman introduces the concept of the experiencing self and the remembering self. The experiencing self lives in the present moment, while the remembering self focuses on the past and how experiences are recalled. Impact on the way individuals remember experiences often diverges from how they felt during those experiences. For example, people may rate a vacation poorly if they focus solely on a few negative moments, despite having enjoyed the majority of it. Implications for happiness. Understanding the distinction between the two selves can inform choices that maximize overall satisfaction and well-being. Kahneman suggests that individuals should consider how experiences will be remembered, rather than just how they feel in the moment. Conclusion. Exploration of the dual processes of thinking and their profound influence on human behavior and decision-making. Kahneman's insights into cognitive biases, heuristics, and the interplay between emotion and logic illuminate the complexities of the human mind. By understanding these concepts, readers can become more aware of their thought processes, leading to improved decision-making and enhanced well-being. The book serves as a call to recognize the limitations of our intuition, encouraging a more thoughtful and reflective approach to understanding ourselves and the world around us. In a society increasingly driven by rapid decision-making, Kahneman's work emphasizes the importance of slowing down, questioning our assumptions, and making more informed choices